Greetings. Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Lachey Taylor. I am your host. This is the Betterism podcast. Give me a second. I'm going to allow people to come on in since this is a live. I also need to make sure that I am live on Facebook, and I have to make sure that we're good to go on Instagram. And then I will introduce our guest and we will get the conversation started. We have Stephone Jeffrey today, but yeah, give me a second. Make sure everything is good before we go. All right, let me just go public on Facebook. Edit the audience. We're good on Facebook. Now let's go live on Instagram. All right, we live on Insta. Live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. All right, everybody, welcome to the show. I hope you're doing well today. We have a special guest. His name is Stephone Jeffrey. He has been in the community for a while. I met him through the Fruit Up with Bobby Smith community. I watched a really powerful discussion he had with Bobby about his history with chronic kidney disease and multiple sclerosis. I am excited to introduce him to this audience because I know that, we're all in this community to get well, to get better. And it's always good to draw from other people's experiences. So this is a treat. I'm super excited to have him on, and I'm going to introduce him now. And we got Bobby in the building. What's up, Bobby? We in here. Facts. All right, let me get him on. Let me unmute your mic. Hi, Stephone. How are you?
Doing good, Lachey. How are you doing?
I'm well, and I'm excited. Thank you for coming. I'm so excited to have you here, especially on a Sunday night. So I appreciate you and your time.
Oh no problem. Like I'm happy to be here. I was excited when you asked me on the show. Like I said, I watch this on behind the scenes. I mean, I watch you guys when you do your lives too. I watch Bobby's lives too, so I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. All right, dope. Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know you, who doesn't know your story, let us know where you come from. Let us know how why we here.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of fast forward. Younger. I can start off from the beginning. My life. I was kind of like in toxic relationships, and involved in eating bad, just eating terrible, and toxicity and being and negative things just go bad. But fast forward to I was in a relationship. I was in Florida about in 20. I moved to Florida in 2019. I moved to Florida in 2019, and in 2021, towards the end of the year, towards my birthday, we bought like two little puppies. And I'm walking these two little puppies. I'm a bigger guy at the time. I was like maybe 230 at the time. And I'm walking these puppies, but they're pulling me. I mean, like they're like little dogs. And I'm like, I'm getting dizzy. So I'm going in the house. I let that go for about like 3 days. So the third day, I was like, I gotta go to the ER. So I went to the urgent care. And when I went to the urgent care, they took my blood pressure. They was like, your blood pressure is 214 over. I mean, no, it's 214 over 114. So they're like, you can't drive home. Like somebody's got to come get you. So they take me to the hospital. I go to the hospital. I'm in the hospital. They try to get my blood pressure down. It took about 24 hours to get my blood pressure down. So I was in the hospital for about a week, and they're just giving me medications. And then so I spent my 37th birthday in the hospital. Like I was there all day by myself, and I just had IVs in my arm and everything. So they let me out of the hospital. They give me like a kidney specialist. They give me a neurologist, and because they haven't diagnosed me with multiple sclerosis, they're just saying it's a stroke. They're saying it's a stroke. It's a stroke. It's a stroke. So maybe a couple months later, I'm like wiping my face in the mirror. My eyes are on the back of the head, and the person I'm with at the time, son comes to the bathroom like, "Hey, are you okay?" Because I'm just like a blank face. So the medics come. They're like, "Oh, we got your blood pressure is 88 over 52." my blood pressure drops. They get my blood pressure back up. So I go back into the hospital. And then so then they give me more medication, get me out the hospital. The last time I started feeling tingling in my feet, and I went to the hospital for maybe like three or 4 days, and they were like, "Oh no, it's just part of the stroke." So then my mom called me and said, "Hey, do you want us to come drive down from North Carolina to Florida to get you? We're going to bring you up to the Duke doctors." So my mom flies down to Florida. They drive me back to Duke. I'm back in North Carolina, but I'm only in North Carolina for maybe a couple months. They're still going off the diagnosis of a stroke in Florida. So then one day I'm in North Carolina. I'm trying to use a bathroom, and I fall in between the tub and the toilet. I'm struggling to get back up. Like I can't. It takes me like 10 minutes to get back up. So I finally get myself up. I walk to the room. I sit at the edge of the bed. I just slide off the edge of the bed like I'm just sliding. And I roll over on my side, on my stomach. And I'm trying to get back up. My mom comes in. My mom comes in the room. She said, "Hey, are you okay?" I'm like, "Mom, I'm okay." So give me some time. I'm gonna get back up. So I get back up. I get in the bed. I finally get the strength to get back in the bed. My mom's about to go out of town that day. She was like, "Hey, I'm about to call the nurse." She calls the nurse, and the nurse says, "You need to get him to the hospital." They get me to the hospital, and it's crazy because my mom and my aunt are like maybe like 5'4", 5'3". And I'm like 230 at the time, but I'm like dead weight because right before I'm about to leave, my mom said, "Hey, put your pants on." I was like, "Mom, I can't pull up my pants." And she was like, "Okay." So she helps me pull my pants up. I was like, "Mom, I can't tie my shoes." And like, so it like my senses just dropped like that fast. So they had to my mom's in front of me, my aunt's in the back of me, and they're like, and they should have called the ambulance, come get me. But like, I'm giving everything I got to walk to the car, and I'm dead weight to them. So they're trying to pull me to the car. So we get in the car, we get to the hospital. Of course, they had bigger guys to help me move in the wheelchair. So I spent the night in the hospital. They come in the next morning, like, "Hey, it looks like you have multiple sclerosis." And that's where kind of like the journey started. So then I lost all senses like that day, that I think it was Mother's Day Sunday of 2022. I lost all senses. My hand was messed up. I used to hold a fork like this with my right hand. This hand was done. My left hand was out of commission. And then I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk. I was like, I tried to get up and I couldn't, like my legs and stuff. It was so crazy. So after all this is done, fast forward, went through physical therapy. I wasn't on a lifestyle yet. I was getting better still without the fruit. But I was laying in the bed, and one day I ran across Yaki. Yaki's he starts talking about fruit. I'm like, okay. And then my best friend Derek, who he was like, "I'm about to go on a fruit fast." So I think it was a place called Raw Juices or something like that. So he sent me the link. So I did like a 3-day raw juice fast. And I was like, okay, that makes me feel good. But I still wasn't on it like that. So I was just researching Yaki. He's just talking to stuff about fruit in the body and breaking it down. I'm like, okay. Then I see Bobby come on, and I'm like, okay. So Bobby, I'm watching his story, and I'm watching him, and I'm just like, all right, let me try this fruit thing. So I started incorporating fruit smallly. So
I'm sorry. What year is this?
This was 2020. That's 2022.
Okay, so 2020.
So that's the end of 2022.
Okay.
No, take that back. That was 23, right? So Yaki was February 23. That's when I found Yaki. And then this is going towards the end of the year. So Bobby, I'm starting watching Yaki and Bobby. So I'm starting to incorporate fruit here and there. And then I'm like, okay. So then it's like, I think it's like August comes around. I'm about to do a juice fast. And then I found the watermelon lady out here, a guy named Casino. He put this thing on TikTok, and I'm like, who is this? My sister sends me the reel. I'm like, I'm gonna go find her. So I found a watermelon lady she sells. So I was like, so from like starts in August, I'm starting to just juice watermelon. Tried the Yaki green fast a couple times, but then I still wasn't fully in it. Cause I remember one time the doctor was like, well, you can still drink, you can still do. I wasn't drinking heavily, but I remember this one time I took this antibiotic because I was getting a cold. I used to always just take antibiotics when I got colds because I feel like it cleared it out. And then I just got this crazy cramps. I took a shot of liquor, had an antibiotic, and my stomach just cramped up so bad. And I was in the bed for I was in the bed all weekend. And I was like, maybe I should try something. So I did a coconut water fast for 3 days. And I felt amazing. And then after that, I just just stuck with it. It was like, and it just became my life. And then the more I started to do the fruit thing, the better I saw my body excel. Like, I mean, like just getting better and better and better. Like I was getting better, but like now I'm like, I'm walking, I'm driving, I'm running, I'm thinking clearer. Like I'm just like holding my blood pressures down. My kidneys are functioning highly. I'm just like, okay, so there's something to this fruit lifestyle. So fruit has just excelled me so well, and I just love what it's done for me.
Beautiful. Now, I remember listening to you on Bobby's show, and you said that your kidneys were functioning at 30%.
Correct. 30%.
And so you had so this was you coming you in Florida, your
Yeah.
kidneys were functioning at 30%.
Correct.
And you come to North Carolina, relocate with your mom, with your family, so that they can help take care of you as you're healing. Now, your doctor in North Carolina told you that you still, or the Florida doctor told you you still can drink, eat like at least once a week with kidneys functioning at 30%.
Oh, both doctors told me that. Both of them told me. Both of them said you can still have like 8 ounces or like 4 ounces of a shot of liquor or like a beer a day or something like that. And I'm just like what? And I'm just like, but that's it. I'm going back and I'm thinking that's really for them, just to keep me with them. Like that's what it's, because if I heal, they don't get paid, they don't have any work. So it's like I go back and think, I'm like, you guys just want to keep me sick here, and so I keep on coming back to you.
Wow. So medical practitioners are telling their kidney patients that it is still okay to consume even a minimal. It doesn't even matter if they're only recommending a minimal amount of liquor or beer or wine or whatever, knowing that their eliminative organs, probably the most important organ in the body to filter out all of the lymphatic waste, the cellular waste that's in our body, you can still drink. So with that knowledge that you can still drink, it's probably something you knew intuitively that didn't make any sense, but you did it was like a green light to still
it was a green light to still mess up. It's like I can still get away with it. You know, it's like I could still get away with it. And like like secretly inside, I know what I should have been doing, but it was like, well, they're giving me the green light, so I'm right and go with it. And I did, but that cramp, it just something about that cramp that just changed me so bad. I was just like, it was just like, it wasn't like painful, it was just irritating, and I couldn't move, I couldn't function. I was just like, I'm about to try this coconut water thing, and I did coconut water for 3 days straight, and that just changed, something just clicked in me where I was just like, I have to live this way. Like I'm not messing with that stuff anymore. So
you just knew it didn't serve you at that point. Intuitively, you just let it go. How long has it been since your last drink?
August, about a year. Coming up on a year, 12 months.
Nice. Congratulations. Yeah, so, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Go ahead. I'm listening.
What would you say your kidneys are functioning at now?
100%.
100%?
Yeah.
And that is after how many years of your transition? So when you started the coconut water, like what was your percentage of fruit intake?
When I started the coconut, I would probably say maybe like 30%. I just started dipping and dabbling. So I would say about 30%. I would still eat meat though. And I would say about 30%. Yeah.
Okay. So when would you say you got like more serious about your fruit consumption and really when did you start to feel the most healing? Or was it just like an incremental healing day after day?
It was incremental, but I would say when I did I think it was like a 90-day juice fast, and I think I felt so good. I lost a lot of weight though. Like everybody was like, and when you juice, you don't eat anything, you have anything physical. But I lost a lot of weight, but I felt so good. I was like, this is for me. I was like, this is for me. I was like, I can definitely incorporate fruits. And I was when I was going through my fruits fast, that's how I started my company, Fruit is Life. I was in my sister's house, and it was like I was visiting her and my nieces, and I was like, man, I want to start a company. I just want to serve people stuff, and I was just like, what am I going to call it? And my sister said, she was like, at the end of all your videos, you always say fruit is life, because I would just say it all the time. I used to show my cooking, I'd be like, fruit is life, fruit is life. So I was saying it unknowingly. I was like, all right, I'm gonna start it like that. But like,
Yeah, somebody asked where we got the shirts from. TZ Frank. I got my shirt from Jeffrey. If you want a Fruit is Life shirt,
oh yeah,
um,
DM, yeah,
we'll
DM.
get you, yeah, DM him directly. We'll get all that information to you towards the end of the show. But yeah,
But yeah, so but fruit is life. But yeah, I would say it was like that 90-day fast that really showed me how amazing that I felt, and I was just like, okay, that's when I really took it serious. I'm gonna live this life. So
absolutely. So you said you did a 90-day water juice fast?
yeah. It was like it started off with watermelon, but watermelon season kind of ended. So um, it was that, and then I did apples, no, strawberries and apples, and then it was apples, pears, and strawberries.
Okay. So when you were juicing,
Yeah,
you just focused on those fruits that you just mentioned?
yeah. It was
So
just,
were they like mono juices, like just straight watermelon juice, and you would drink a whole bunch of watermelon juice, or
yeah.
were you?
So like if I'm doing watermelon juice, I'm drinking. I would do what, but I also I did make a cucumber juice, cucumber and cucumber lemon and cucumber and lemon juice for the morning. I have a cucumber lemon juice every morning. That was like my thing. But yeah, but I would do that in the morning. But yeah, the day be watermelon juice. And then if I got the watermelon juice, it'd be the apples and strawberries, or pears, apples, and strawberries. Yeah, so it'd be like a mono fast with those juices.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's more affordable too,
Yeah,
because when
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
doing those other juice fasts, like the green juices, you got apples, and celery, and kale, and parsley, and cilantro. You know, you have all these things and lemons, and like, yeah, that's great. I want to do one of those juice fasts too, but it adds up. And I know that you can't put a price on your health, and like that's not even what I'm trying to do. But realistically, we're living in a inflationary economy right now, and everything is very expensive. So I want to get the message across that if you're serious about your healing journey, it doesn't, and you need to give your body digestive rest, and you need to do some sort of a fast. Juice fasting is powerful for healing. Like that's how I'm sure he accelerated the healing of his kidneys, because he was allowing his body to cleanse. He wasn't digesting a bunch of stuff. His just wasn't forcing his organs to do the most. His body just needed to rest and repair. So he was allowing it to do that, and then giving it the nutrients that it needs in order for him to function and have energy as his body is repairing. So that makes the most sense. And you don't have to do these complex, super expensive juice fast protocols. Like you can keep it simple. You can buy a big watermelon, you can juice the watermelon, and watermelon yields so much juice. And the healing power behind it is just like, it's breathtaking. Actually it's breath giving. um
You're right, because watermelon is 96% water, and like I said, one watermelon, because I drink 64 ounces of juice a day plus my other one, so maybe like 16, maybe like 70, 80 ounces of juice a day I drink. So but as for if I'm not eating fruit, if I'm eating fruit, I kind of subtract juice from that, because I'm still getting the hydration from it. So but yeah. The fast definitely helped out, definitely accelerated everything, and then got those things. I tried Yaki's juice fast for like 2 weeks. I just didn't like this, and it tastes good out. Right? I tried it, I can't do this. And it was so complex too. I was like, man, I gotta put this in, I gotta take this out, I gotta put this. I'm just like, all right, I'm okay. I'm a simple person. Like I like to keep it simple with this lifestyle. I might get a little, like if I got to do like sour sop or something like that, I just hate popping the seeds out. But besides that, like I'm super simple. Like I don't try to complicate it, because it's not complicated. So it's like you don't see squirrels, anybody in there taking a whole bunch of nuts and cashews and pulling them in here and like I got to mix this and that. No, they go get one thing, they eat it, and they keep on rolling. So that's how I look at this lifestyle matters.
Overcomplicating it deters people from getting started, because there's all this information what you should or should not be doing. Like I was watermelon juice fasting over the summer. I did up to 22 days of all watermelon juice, and when I was sharing the posts, a couple of them went viral, and the alarmism by people who really don't lack the experience, they think that fasting and allowing the body to just like heal, because they don't have an understanding of the process of fasting. And their alarmism, thinking it's an eating disorder, and then or they're focusing on the amount of sugar that is inside of a watermelon or any kind of fruit, really. And it's just like the understanding that most people have of how like the human anatomy functions, how we biologically function as human beings, has just been so like skewed, or we've just been so misinformed that we can't even experiment with our own bodies without it being called dangerous or whatever. But this is applied knowledge. We're doing this stuff. We're not telling anyone to do anything. We're doing it ourselves, and we're showing you the process of it being done, and we're sharing with you the experience, how we feel. And it's not all good, it's good, and there's some ugly in the process, because you're cleansing. And when you're cleansing, you don't clean something that is undirty. You don't clean something already cleaned. You're detoxing things that have toxicity within. So, you're not deep cleaning a house that is like spot clean, like you can eat off the floor. You're deep cleaning because you see dirt, you see grime, you see stains, you see filth. So we have that inside of us. So you have to go through a cleansing process. Those toxins, the reason why we're so sick is because toxicity, it slows us down. It kills our cells, like it creates dis-ease, it creates pus, mucus, acids inside of the body. So when we're actually cleaning up with these high vibrational fruit juices and just fruits in general, or even your raw vegetables, and cheers, you're going to feel it coming out. You're going to feel it on its way out, because toxicity is going to cycle in your bloodstream on its way out. So yeah, you're going to have breakouts. You're going to be tired. You might experience rashes, headaches. There are these things that you're going to experience because you're in a cleansing process. And like, if you're in the hospital and they give you some sort of medication, or you're doing some sort of protocol when you're being given chemotherapy, would they tell you, oh yeah, you're going to have these side effects, but that means that it's working. So why is it when we're doing these juice cleanses and when we're doing fruit feasting or raw diets, and we're starting to feel the effects of detoxification, we think that it's because of the fruit? No, the fruits are just exposing the weaknesses. So you have to be patient in the process. And there is success in what is being done. So if allopathic route is not working for you and you've been in and out of hospitals for years, if you see somebody who has their own testimonial, who's kind of gone through it, who has had to regain motor skills and regain their senses, and at one point had to start being dressed up by their family members, and just in general, like super high blood pressure, low blood pressure, non-functioning kidneys or barely functioning kidneys, and now they're in front of you thriving and healthy and helping people, that is your sign to probably get started. We have someone in here right now who said that Jeffrey, he started guiding me since May, and my kidney function went from 24 to 31. That's amazing.
Oh, that must be patience. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I don't claim to be a healer, and I can't say I can heal you. I can just say I can give you what works for me. And I'm like I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't know, but like I said, if you don't know until you try. Like I said, but I said I can at least improve how your lifestyle works for you. I guarantee you that. And so it's just one of those things that it's amazing. Like I said, everybody that talks crazy, they can't talk crazy to me because they don't have no real story. Like, I have a legit story. I've been down, like I said, I've been with my mom, had to push me. She had to cook for me every day, clean my room. white me peeing on myself, poop on myself. Like she had to take care of all of that, and I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I was just immobile. So anybody that says anything bad about this lifestyle, like I'm not listening, because you have no. I'm concrete proof. Like you're just a mouth behind the screen, you know. So
Right, right. And we don't want to scare people from a possible solution, you
yeah,
know, and people say not everything works for everyone, but I think you do have to go in here giving it a fair shot. Do your research, do what you need to do before you get started, because there are things you're going to experience that's going to be scary and alarming during the healing process. And when you know what is to expect, it's not as scary. Like, that what's actually going on.
so like Yaki is the one that really kind of like gave me that mindset where he was like, man, if you got a cold, that's a good thing. So if you got acne, that's a good thing. That's the skin taking a poop. Like when you got a cold, that means something's coming out of your body. So when you go through the detox and you feel sick, you feel dizzy, you feel lightheaded, that just means that your body's just getting rid of all the nonsense that you have in your system. And yeah, your face is gonna break out, skin is gonna look crazy some days. You might feel sick, you might be coughing, you might feel dry throated, everything. So you're gonna go through some symptoms, like you said, to get those poisons out. Like, so you got to remember like this: it didn't take you a day to get those things. It didn't take you a day to get all the toxins in your body. So it's not gonna take a day to get rid of them. I believe I'm still detoxing. Like I'm not even there. I think it takes like maybe 5-10 years to truly detox your body.
I
And,
agree.
and like I said, but I know I am 1,000% better than I was before, and I'm on the way to getting to the point where I'll be, fully detoxed. But I love where I'm at. So it's a thing. But like I said, people get scared of this because we've been wired so wrong to think about things. And if we actually think about things the right way, it would make sense to like, why would you not eat this, but you would go get a pack of Oreos, or you would go get a frozen meal, or you would go to this fast food place and go here and this. And you look at the ingredients that's in these things, you don't even know half of them are. And these things, you're injecting this stuff in your body. It's like, and I tell people this all the time. If they're a new member, I'm like, hey, we're going to go somewhere with all this meat and stuff like that. I was like, if you go to a room full of crackheads, they offer you crack, are you going to smoke crack? And you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, you're going to stand on, so you got to stand on this lifestyle now. Like, hey, I'm not eating that. I don't want that. That's not good for me. I'm not doing that. So, and that's one thing I try to preach to people. Is like, you pick this lifestyle and you just stand on it and you stand up for it, because like once you see what's real, like you can't unsee it.
Mm-hmm. And when you feel it, you can't unfeel it.
You can't feel it. Yeah, you're just like, I can't do it. Like I had a situation where I had got I bought some barbecue sauce, and I went to Whole Foods and I made these buffalo chickpeas and some barbecue jackfruit. And the barbecue sauce, one of the barbecue sauces I got had a potato starch in it. And I'm fighting with myself, and I was like, man, I don't really want to do potatoes. I don't really mess with potatoes like that. And I was just like, man. So I drove 30 minutes away, got another thing of barbecue sauce. I was like, I gotta stand on it. I was like, I know, something that I was just like, just couldn't do it. So yeah, it just, once you unsee it, you can't unsee it, and you'll feel it when you're like, it's not right. So
yeah, absolutely. We've been conditioned to see things that are not food. They're literally drugs. Like you made the analogy of drugs. If you're being offered crack, are you going to just take it because it's being offered to you? Like, excuse me, it's not good for you. So we know the stuff that got us in the state of health that we're in, if we're in a lower state of health, is what we've been consuming all of our lives, the fast food and the comfort meals and the things that we've grown up on, the pork and the beef and the chicken and the mac and cheese and all of that. Yeah, like just because other generations lived years eating that way, we can't compare our generation to our ancestors' generation, or even like our moms and our fathers' generation, because we adopt the lymphatic systems of our mother. And there was a transition from real food to this manufactured stuff over the generations. So you can't compare your grandmother and your great grandmother, because at least the integrity of what they were consuming was still like whole. excuse me, at least what they were consuming was still whole. They weren't big on the spraying chemicals on food. You
Yeah.
know, we just weren't eating as much manufactured food like products like how we do now. So like there was like a transition from like whole meals and eating from the garden to the TV dinners and all of that, you know, when that stuff started being marketed to our grandparents, but they still had the immune systems of their parents. So they were still pretty healthy and giving birth to healthy children. But it seems like as the generations progress, babies are actually being born sicker and sicker, and we're getting sicker younger and younger.
Yeah.
Like you started getting sick at 37 years old. I started getting sick around 30, 33 years old. And that's because I grew up on a lot of processed food, like boxed mac and cheese and just junk food and chips and the sodas and the juices and the honey buns and things that we would eat when we get after school, the stuff that they fed us in school, you know.
Yeah.
So like the culture has changed over time to where more and more of what we're consuming is just like has less integrity, and then the vaccination schedules, all of that going on, and you just the stress in the households, like we're in these more single parent households, and all of it takes a toll on us. So it's like we can't compare what they did to what we're doing now.
Yeah, like you said, and those like they had whole food. It came from the earth, or if it was livestock, it wasn't injected with chemicals. They slaughter it, cook it up, and that's how they ate. So it was just all pure, pretty much. They had a lot of pure stuff going on, regardless if it was a worst part of the pig, it still was pure. Like it wasn't fed a whole bunch of nonsense. And I think, and I'm going back and I'm thinking, it started with when the men went off to war and the women started to work. That's when like they started to implement like TV dinners and stuff like that. And then those became more popular as the women went to the workforce, and then so they were like, all right, how the kids gonna eat? So all the microwavable dinners. Then we had fast food, and McDonald's came out, and then so they actually say the true McDonald's was actually like a pure burger. It was like pure. It just as it come on, you got to reproduce and reproduce, and how can we reproduce and manufacture faster? So start injecting chemicals, and then now you just got a plethora of stuff out there. Like I said, we grew up, like I said, honey buns, Popeye's chicken, McDonald's. Like that was like a it was like a blessing to us. Like we go out to school, we're gonna who has a couple dollars? We're gonna go to the dollar menu and get some up the dollar menu because it was fast. And like so most of us, both of our parents worked, or if we had a single parent household, that parent was working. So it was like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna eat? We're gonna get some pizza, some McDonald's, some Chinese food. And then so it's and that's how we just inject that in our body. So our generation below us are gonna be sicker because we kind of set them up because we weren't taught the right way. So now our immune system suffers, and now the generation after us suffers. So we got to be the one to change that now.
Yeah, and it's like we're not conscious enough to know that we probably shouldn't be bringing children into the world in our dirty bodies. Like it is best, it's optimal if we personally are conscious about going through a cleansing process before giving birth. Some people can't even give birth because their bodies aren't clean enough. So like I've been in groups where women wanted babies, but they were like seemingly infertile and they were having a hard time and they did all this. And then they found like certain herbs, but they were also advised to change their diet along with the herbs. So now they're doing the fruit fasts and stuff like that and taking these herbs. Or there's some women in the groups, like the watermelon washout group. One of them actually ended up getting pregnant in the group. Like this is actually an occurring thing. I think every single like challenge we've had
Mhm.
that Bobby and I have run in the past, there's always been a woman who did the challenge and ended up pregnant because it's cleaning you out.
Not
It's
everything.
if you got blocked fallopian tubes, it's cleaning you out. So it's making it easier for your body to reproduce if you're having those issues. But it's best if we're conscious, you and your partner, about just cleansing in general, because we always talk about generational wealth. We always want to pass on our physical wealth to our children, but we don't think about what kind of like health we can pass on to our children if we have cleaner bodies.
We should be passing on generational health. That's the thing. Like we should be thinking about that. Like you said, pass on that clean body, which gives that clean spirit. And it's just so much better when you're clean and you feel like you just feel like pure. So, but yeah. So it's this lifestyle is just it's changed me so heavily, and I'm fortunate that I ran into it in time, because it could have been too late. Because when I know what's happening to me at first, they couldn't figure out. I thought I was going to die, and I called my sister. I said, "Hey, this money goes to this person. This money goes to this person," because I was ready to die. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, and then like I said, I started to get better. But fruits have been the thing that really just excelled me. And like I said, I will never. I can't turn my back on this lifestyle at all. So.
Yeah, we can't overcomplicate the lifestyle because it's that easy. If you're going through anything physically right now, you don't have the diagnosis that you were given. What you have is toxemia. You have systemic toxemia. You have acidosis. You just have mucus, pus, and acids in your body after years and years and decades of consuming food-like products that were filled with toxins, and our bodies are so overly burdened with them to the point where the organs in our bodies that are designed to clean out the body are so filled up with gunk that they just can't filter waste the way that it's supposed to. So what we do is we have to be patient. We have to be intentional. We have to be consistent and just deliberate and make a decision and do it for a minimum of 90 days. Your health will do a 180, and even a short period of time of just like immense focus for 30 days. Like that's all is required to get started. Anything after that is maintenance. It's not smart to go back to the habits that led you in that place before, which is easier said than done. I get it, because that's the stuff that we can want to consume is highly addictive because it's not really food. It's drugs. It's food like drugs. And they're designed to be addictive because that keeps us being repeated customers going back to purchase that same thing. It's a business model for the manufacturer, and it's a drug. It's a fix for us. So we have to start changing our relationship with food and seeing the things that we're calling food for what it is, which are drugs, food like drugs, and which is why it's regulated by the FDA. The FDA is the Food and Drug Administration. Food and drug. Why would they lump them together if they weren't essentially the same thing categorized? They regulate the amount of drugs they allow in your food. So start looking at the packages, start looking at the ingredients, start Googling the ingredients, start realizing that what you're about to put into your body is detrimental. It's not even really good in moderation. That just means you're microdosing on poison, which is how we got sick to begin with. We microdosed on poison over time consistently to the point where our bodies just literally couldn't function anymore. So now we have to clean it out. So the fruits, the juices, don't overcomplicate it. Like, it's going to be scary in the beginning when you're cleansing because you're going to have detox crisis, but you're going to get past it. You're never going to feel that again. So,
yeah, and I just want to say that, and I know, like, if you're scared, any of that, because you're gonna get a lot of backlash from people, especially those that are close around you. Some will, but a lot of people will get backlash people around because they don't understand what you want to do and how you want to carry it forward because they can't fathom doing it. So just understand that. But which is a good thing that if you're here right now, you're in a part of this group, and this group is amazing. I didn't have this group when I started out because I didn't know. Like, I didn't know about the group. I was just I think I just got back on social media too. So I was just like, I had to like kind of tuck in what I was doing to myself and not tell anybody. And then, but I said, don't be scared. Just go and fight through it because it's not gonna be easy. I will tell you that. It will not be easy. Mine was a little bit easier because my journey was different. Because I had no choice. Like I said, I didn't walk before, so I was like, I have to figure out how I want to get back to being 1,000%. But it's not going to be easy, and that was still hard. Like to juice for 90 days that was tough. That was like I just wanted to eat something, but I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to stick to the plan, stick to the plan, and stick to the plan, and stick to the plan. So, just focus. And like I said, if what you have been doing has not been working, then you have to try something else. And like I said, I'm not saying I'm going to heal you. I'm not saying I can, but I can say I can improve your life. So I would say try it. Just try it. Even try it for 3 days. Try it for 4 days, and then after that, you keep on moving. Like, hey, I'm going to do 5 days. I'm going to do 6 days. All right, next month I'm going to do 7 days, and next month of that I'm going to do 2 weeks. So build yourself up to it. Take your time, and it's not complicated. Pick one fruit. Like, I'm a budget person, so I know that I'm going to get watermelon this week. I know how many 7 bags of apples cost, how many 4 pounds of strawberries cost. Like, I manage my money. Like, I know there's no price on health, but I still got a budget. I still got to make sure I have money in the bank. I still got to make sure I pay my bills. I got to make sure I live. So you still got to be smart with it. Like, I'm just not going to blow all my money on fruit, and I can't pay my phone bill. I can't pay the rent. So it's just like, no, you be smart with it. And something is, too expensive. Like, hey, I'll go eat this instead. So like I said, like I won't eat dragon fruit. Dragon fruit's like a deluxe to me. Dragon fruits are like $8 a fruit. So I'm like, I'm not gonna yeah, dragon fruit is like a date night for me, So it's like I'm not gonna yeah, a little expensive stuff. So I'm like, I'm not gonna get that. So I budget stuff, like I said. Like I'm lucky I got a watermelon lady out here. So she gets a watermelon for that's like they're about between 10 to 15, depending on the situation. But like I manage out like, all right, one watermelon will give me 128. So that's 2 days of juice for me. So I'm like, all right, I need 4 watermelons this week. I'm like, all right, then I'm going to get, a bag of apples and some pears and some cucumbers. So I always manage this. So don't think you have to be rich to live this lifestyle. You just have to be smart about it. And you just figure out what you can afford, what you can get, and do stuff like that. Even like this, frozen fruit. People don't think about this. If you take frozen fruit, let it sit out, you can juice it. So if you have to get the cheap frozen fruit, go get that, let it sit out, and then juice it after that. So it's definitely it is a sustainable lifestyle. You just got to think beyond.
Yeah, and you just have to start seeing fruit as meals, because a question you get regularly when you come into this lifestyle by the people in your life is, when are you going to go back to eating regular food? So they're always like curious about when you're going to go back to eating like how everybody eats. They don't expect you to see this as a sustainable lifestyle. And like, yeah, sure. Like I eat cooked food. I don't want to be a 100% fruitarian, but it is important that if you have health issues, you have to allow your body an adequate amount of time to heal. And then when you do go back to cooked food, you're eating clean versions of cooked food. You're not going back to processed cooked food like products. You're going to whole food, plant-based.
Yes, that is exactly right. So like I said, I just started getting back into cooked foods, like eating them wholly. And so I eat cooked meal a day now because I'm trying to put weight back on. I lost so much weight, so I'm working on putting weight back on. So I eat like wild rice and chickpeas every day. And you see my page, I mess around with meals. I made a peach cobbler out of just chickpea crust and peaches. I mean chickpea flour and no chickpeas, raw chickpeas and peaches. I made a chickpea pie. I mean, I'm sorry, a peach pie. It was a peach pie.
Yeah, good too.
Yeah. So it's just like, so I play around. You can play around with, like, once you get past the whole juicing thing, like like your initial detox phase, you can cook and have fun with it. Like, I have fun with this lifestyle because I always enjoyed cooking before this. So I really enjoy. I'm like, okay, that looks cool, and and I love it now. And I eat cooked foods every day, but I will never stop eating fruit. I drink 64 ounces of fruit a day. I eat half a watermelon, at least half a watermelon a day, something equivalent to half a watermelon a day. That will never stop. But yeah, so like, but I eat wild rice, and I make a ton of stuff. So
like people think that because like there are people who are like fully fruitarian. There are people who are fully raw vegan, and that's how they want to live their life, and that's great. I actually want to get to a point where I am like fully raw. But right now, I don't want to be like,
Yeah.
and it's okay to have like a plan to transition, and it can be a long-term plan to transition. But I'm still young, I'm still social. Like, I still want to live my life. There's so much traveling to do, there's so many different experience I want to give myself. Like, health is not only what you consume, health is also like your mental health, your emotional health. And if trying to be too perfect is imbalancing you emotionally and is creating stress in your body, then we're not you're it's counterproductive to what you're even in it for, which is wholeness, holistic health. And food is like the foundation of that. However, there's more to it than just what you consume and what you eat. It's also about how you feel, the quality of your relationships, the experiences you're having in life. We have to remember we're spirits having a human experience.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be, we need to be spirit led. So if there is something that you want to do, if you're traveling and you're in Italy and you want some pasta, eat the pasta. Like, that's a part of life. Like, nobody's telling you that you have to be perfect in order to be, like, oh, sure, if you are an optimization junkie and you just want to see the heights of your human makeup and how just like optimized and how great and vital you can be, then go for it. Like, that's your human experience, that's your life path. But we're not saying you have to be perfect. We're just saying if there's anything wrong with you right now, like, start cleaning out, start cleansing, start abstaining from the drugs, the food like drugs, the things that made us sick to begin with. Also, start abstaining from the people that make us sick, the low quality relationships that stress us out. Like, we have to start doing a cleansing of life and a cleansing of body and environment.
And I'm gonna piggyback off of that. So, and the real thing is like, so relationships and your environment is a part of your toxicity. Like, so it will increase it. Because I was in a toxic relationship and I was in the wrong relationship. Like, I shouldn't even been in that situation. The person I was with had 3 kids, and I was taking care of about 90% of the finances, and I didn't have any kids, so I wasn't used to it. So I'm stressed out. And I'm trying to spoil everybody. I'm trying to take everybody here. Like, let's do this. Let's go do that. And I'm paying for everything. I'm footing the bill. And that was like so much stress on me. And they even said they don't know what the cause of MS is. Like, they don't know what it is. Because it's not hereditary. But they said stress could be a lead factor of it too. And I honestly think that was a factor of it too. So yeah, not like when you do a cleanse, it's just not a physical cleanse, it's a spiritual cleanse. And like you said, you have to get yourself in the right environment. And when I came back to North Carolina, I'm around my mom, I'm around my sister, I'm around my aunt, I'm around the women who raised me and loved me or been with me since, forever. So I'm around love now. My friends are visiting me. They're coming down from Virginia. They coming to my house. My best friends coming to see me. So now I'm in a loving environment. So now my healing journey does start because you want to be around love. You want to be around those things that make you vibrate higher, that give you that feeling of security, that make you feel safe.
That's deep, and that's so real. That is so real. When we are stressed or if we're happy, that's all the nervous system. We have to have regulated nervous systems. It doesn't matter how perfect you can be on a 90-day juice fast, but if you're living in a toxic environment and you're still really stressed out about finances, or if there's violence in the home, anything like that, like, you can do all the juicing you want and have all the discipline you want. That cortisol, your nervous system constantly being in that state of friction or tension, that could still put you in the hospital, because there's a psychosomatic relationship between our environment and our bodies. Like, for example, if a person has a show for the first time and they've never spoken in front of an audience, all of a sudden they see they're perfectly healthy, they're fine, they see this group of people, now they're nervous. Their physical body will start to sweat, their heart will start to palpitate, they will start to get nauseous, they will physically vomit because of just being nervous.
Mm-hmm.
That's the nervous system. So Environment matters. I say that just to say environment matters. So yes, start your health journey. Don't use your environment as an excuse to not get started with the fruits and with your healing and cleansing process. However, that has to be a part of your contingency plan to remove yourself so that you can really optimize. So that's really important. I also was doing raw vegan fully 100% raw, but there were things going on in my life that really had me anxious all the time and nervous and worried due to finances and things of that sort, just like relationship issues. And I just hit a plateau with my healing. Like there was just I just still, I'm like, why am I not? I'm like, why is everybody saying how perfect they feel, how they don't deal with this anymore and that anymore? And I'm still like, sure, I don't experience that symptom anymore, but I still have this. Like, I'm still doing this. Like, I still have, like, and I didn't make the connection that it was what was going on in my life that was stressing me out, that was keeping me from optimizing, because I was never just like at peace.
Yeah,
You have to have like a contingency plan for peace. So it's just, it all works together.
yeah, it does. And I agree with that. Peace is like the biggest thing that you have to find. And once you find peace, that's you can feel. Once you find that peace within you, and you find that right place, nothing can stop you after that. It's like a thing. Once you reach that, like that level, there's nothing that can shake you. Like I reached a place where nothing can shake me. Like if somebody be like, hey, somebody such close to you died, I would be hurt, but I'd be like, okay, I know they're gonna transition to another life. I know, and I know nothing wrong with crying. I'd be emotional, but I would still be at peace in myself and be like, okay,
Yeah.
the universe, everything happened for a reason. Everything's gonna be okay. And now I'm at that place where I can't, I won't be shaken. It won't happen.
That's like proof of having a clean and healthy and balanced physical vessel, because a lot of people who deal with grief, and they literally will grieve for far too long. Like I know that, you can't tell somebody how to grieve and how long they're supposed to grieve, but if you're in an unhealthy vessel as it is, your brain, your body has a hard time naturally producing the happy hormones, like the serotonin, things that is just supposed to naturally be balanced. Our hormones are supposed to naturally be balanced, but we're so unnaturally imbalanced because of the lifestyles, the toxicity, and all of that. So once we deal with grief, our brains aren't secreting the healthy balance or amount of serotonin that the brain is naturally supposed to produce. So you already had that problem to begin with. So you probably already started off depressed. Like kind of like a functional depressed person going through life, not really ever happy, just going along to get along. And then something traumatic happens, and then it just completely takes the life out of you, because what a lot of people do is they siphon their happiness from others. It's never really internal. So they need certain people in their life in order to feel like they have something to live for. So once you take that away from them, it's literally like their whole world comes crashing down, and they don't know how to operate on their own anymore, just from being so codependent. So it's important to be healthy enough to have uh, the healthy balance of happy hormones, so that when you're going through grief, you're dealing with it in a healthy way. Like you're still going to be sad, you're still going to cry, but you're going to also be able to function. Like you
Yeah,
shouldn't be going months without showers and stuff.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, if something happens, like I said, I'm not gonna say I would never be sad. I wouldn't get like down on myself, but I just wouldn't let it affect me like it normally would. Like I would bounce back faster. Like, all right, I'm sad, I'm bouncing back. And like I said, so the year 2018 through 2021 were like some rough years. So 2018, I lost my grandmother. My grandmother was like my heart. That was my lady. Like it wasn't like I was like my grandmother. Like I last time I visited her was in Florida. I cooked some pork chops for her. And but so we had to take her off the plug in 2018. 2019, I go down to Atlanta in January. My stepmom calls me. She's like, hey, your father's sick. The doctor say, you know, I'm just telling you, just get here now. So I go down there. He's dealing with testicular cancer. It's spreading. It starts to spread. So, you know, he's like, he can't walk. He's like, so I'm with him. I'm with him the whole 6 months. And the doctors are just lying. It's like, oh, he's getting better. He's getting better. But then maybe like 3 weeks before he passed, it's like, oh, he's going to pass. So they knew that he was going to, you know, he was going downhill. So that happens he passes in July. Then 2 months later, my best friend, Mike, he just came down to my dad's funeral in July. We go back to Virginia Beach. His wife dies with his baby. Like, she's pregnant at the time. She dies. And that was like my sister. And that was supposed to be my godson. And then, so that's all in 20. So it's 2018. That's 2019. 2020, COVID happens, dealing with all that. 2021, that's when I got the whole descendant started messing me with MS and stuff like that. So those years were definitely hard, you know, definitely testing my character, testing me who I was. And I was just thankful to have like my friend Mike and my family around to be there to help me, because if I had to depend on those myself, I probably would have lost my mind, you know. But I definitely see what you're saying. Like, a lot of stuff is already in us before it just exposes us when things happen. And when we're exposed and we don't know how to handle it, we crack.
Yeah, some people commit, you know, you know, I don't know, internet's weird about words like that, you know, like they unalive themselves, just can't function, can't go back to work, can't get out of bed. Like, I get it. Like, there's gonna be you're in shock. Like, you lose people who has played a pinnacle role in your life for a very long time, and then now you have to learn how to go through life without them. So I get it. And we're not robots. And that's why we have emotions. It's energy, emotions. Again, we're having experiences in this life. And a part of that is going through the emotions of life, you know, the happy, the sad, the grief, the highs, the lows. Like, that's all a part of how we shape our characters and we develop into who we are, who we're meant to be. So it's all a part of it. But I think that, you know, death is inevitable. Like, we all know we're going to die. So we do have to learn how to grow up when it comes to death, you know, like acting like it could never happen to you. Like, you know, like everyone's got a date, you know, so we have to learn how to get comfortable with the idea of knowing that everyone in our life, we're going to lose them or they're going to lose us, you know.
Everybody wants them to be like Morgan Freeman. You know, they want to wait till they get super old. You know, everybody doesn't think that it could happen earlier. You know, like they think that they're just going to make it to their, you know, 90, you know, and it's like, but it's not like that for everybody. You have to realize that. Like I said, I lost my dad. My dad was 60 years old. See, we celebrated his 60th birthday and he passed. That was February and he passed in July. Like, I thought I was going to have more time with my dad because me and my dad were like best friends. And I was like, we got time. We're gonna put together. We were putting together some stuff. We were gonna, you know, I was helping him write his book. We was gonna write his book and tell his story, and it didn't make it. And it was I was just like my grandma. That was a difference. So my grandma was like 81, 82. So it wasn't shocking, but it was okay because I'm like, she's lived a full life. But my dad, I thought my dad had at least 20 years left, you know, and it was hard. So I was like, man, like because he was still active, like he had, you know, he used to haul trucks and stuff like that. And he just retired from the airport and he was doing hauling truck business. And me and my dad, we always talked. And that was my best friend. And when it just took him like that, it was just like, and I was like, man, that was, and like I said, and I had, you have to grow up and have to realize that stuff could happen to people. It happened to my best friend. It happened to me. And you just have to be able to be like, it is a part of life. Like it is, if it happens, it happens. And you just have to learn how to take that in.
That's sad. And I'm sorry that you lost your father. He was young. 60 still young. And that makes you think. So do you think he passed quickly from the cancer or did he pass from the treatment? Did he take the treatment?
Yeah, he did take the treatment. I think it was both. I think because I had to take him to the chemo treatments. And he also had I take him dialysis too. And but that's the difference. That's when they just stick the thing in your kidney and they but yeah, it was definitely the treatments. It was definitely his food choices too. And I will say this, and I'm not gonna lie, and I do feel like this because So my stepmom had told me one time, she was like, well, I got to tell you something. They said he wasn't going to make it past May. So she knew that he was going to pass. She didn't tell any of us because my sisters are a little crazy. They probably would have flipped out, and it would have been ugly. But yeah, I was like, you knew this the whole time. She was like, yeah. So when he made it past May, she was like shocked that he's still alive. And I was like, but I would say that, but I would say his choices of food. I would just say he never got the best food at the house. Always eating, and he tried to get back on track so many times, so he wanted to, like, but the situation he was in just wasn't, it was easy for him to eat bad. And but I will say, like I said, I wanted to say this before he passed. If I would have known he was going to pass, I'm not going to lie, I would have ate JJ's chicken with him every day, just to smile with him and joke with him. I would have fed him cheeseburgers and all that, because I'm like, hey, if you're gonna go. But I was trying to, and I didn't know anything about the lifestyle then. I'm just getting on Dr. Sebi then, so I'm like, oh, we gotta cook this, we gotta make this, we gotta, and we're trying to rush in last minute to fix something that's happened over the last 60 years of his life, and we're trying to fix it in 2 weeks. And it's like, we're trying to feed him this and make sure he drinks this and cook like this, and I'm just like, it was too late by then. I was like, man, I would be eating Popeyes with that man every day and eat McDonald's with him every day.
Yeah, you know what though, like that's not really bad. Like, and I know technically it's bad.
Yeah.
But again, we're spirits having a human experience, right? Yeah. So once you're like already at that point, it's really about the quality of the transition, because bodies expire, but the spirit always lives on. So the quality of those last times, if the experience of those last times was having your favorite food with your son, and just spending those last few months with your family and enjoying good meals and laughing and going over memories, when that spirit transitions, that is not necessarily always about the quantity of life. It's about the quality of the experiences, because we're here to strengthen our spirits. We already know we ain't here forever. So this is like life university, like Earth University. Like, we're here to have people in our lives and experience in our lives. And, maybe we're put here to go through what we went through to help the quality of life of others so that they can have good quality experiences as human beings. But ultimately, we're refining our spiritual process. We're evolving spiritually by helping others, but we're only helping them by helping ourselves, So it's just like, not everybody's here for the same thing. There are people who will never eat like us, live like us, and will still live long, full lives because they're happy, because they're rich, they have fulfilling lives, they get to do what they love to do, like they travel, like, there's no one size fits all on how you experience the human experience. So I don't believe in crowbarring our lifestyle into everybody's situation.
There was a story about this town in Pennsylvania a while ago, and they were like the most unfit people in that town. They were like, they were like someplace in Italy. They came over, like the unfit people. They had the longest living people there, and they said why? They was like, they eat like trash, they do this, but they was like, they have the most family oriented community, and they were all about love. And they were like, people were out of shape, they were fat, they were this and that, but they lived long. They was like, because they were just genuinely loving each other out there.
They were filled with love. That's
filled with love. And it's like, that's why I say the last days of my dad was amazing, because it was to be with my dad and just have fun with him, laugh with him, joke with him, and just be there with him. And like you said, it was a quality making his, his like I said, I would have made it way better, and we would have been cracking crab legs together. And so it would have been a good thing. But yes, it's also about the quality. Like people, we're so focused on like this, like fruit journey, like it's bigger than fruit. Like I said, fruit has helped me, but I don't knock, because like I still got the same group of friends I had from 30 years ago, 20 years ago. And I go to their events. I went to my friend's barbecue. I brought me a portobello mushroom, put it on the grill next to his chicken. So it's not like you can't live this style. And they enjoy the portobello mushrooms. And when you live this lifestyle, people will even take on pieces of it because they see how you're doing. Mm-hmm. I got friends say, I'm juicing right now. I got sick. I'm juicing out right now. Hey man, what's the recipe for those curry chickpeas? I mean, I like those. I fed my friends a fried mushrooms one time. It was like, this mushrooms. So it's just like, you live this lifestyle, but I don't force it. I don't force it upon anybody that's around me. Like I never will. I was like, I live this for me. Like, so I cook this food. If I'm coming to visit somebody, I'm like, hey, you got a freezer? I gotta bring my juices. Hey, you mind if I cook? My friend Mike hates me cooking because he don't like the smell of like my fried stuff. So like if I make like chickpea and stuff like that, he's like, man, that stuff stinks. But but I still bring my stuff, and I promote my lifestyle, and I visit people, and I bring my lifestyle there, but I don't force it upon you. I say, I'm eating this. This is for me. This is for me. And people, they respect it. They'll respect it. They're like, hey, like, all right, cool. And they'll try it. They'll dip and dabble with it. So it's like I live this lifestyle for me, like nobody else. And if somebody else is happy with their lifestyle, I'm not gonna knock them. Like that's the quality of life that they're living. This is the quality of life that's helped me exceed my quality of life.
Yeah, beautiful. Well said. I mean, we passed the hour mark. I know you probably would like to uh progress in your evening. So I'll just, I guess, wrap it up around here. There were people who asked if you had an email, some way to contact you directly. Maybe they want your, I don't know if you, I don't know if, are you a coach or like
Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I'm
services or anything you
yeah,
provide?
I have a group of core people. I just started. I call it a life helper. Like I don't know what to call it because I'm not licensed. I just help you improve the quality of your life. So, um, if you're looking for like weight loss, meal planning, juicing planning, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I cannot heal you, but I can give you some suggestions because I can't tell you everything. I can just tell you what worked for me. So I'm not gonna say it's gonna work for you, but I can give you some suggestions. But yeah, I have a group of people that I'm working with. I'm looking for more clients. I'm not charging anything right now, but if it does get too crazy, I'm going to have to start because that's time. So
Yeah,
so yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. So it takes time. So I have to get paid for my time because I probably gonna have to like quit my job. So I got to have something income. But for now, I'm starting out for free. My name is you can find me on Facebook at Stephone Jeffrey. That's Stephone. Last name Jeffrey, Jefffery. Or you can email me at StephoneJ, that's Stephonej at gmail.com. And yeah, you can email me and message me on Facebook. I'll reply back. I'm cool. Like, it's nothing. And we can set up a consultation if you'll be interested in it. And all I'm gonna say is please just don't waste my time because people they'll sign up with me and then they'll just go ghost. They turn into Casper. And I'm like, because I like to be in touch with my clients. So I'll text you, I'll voice chat you, like to do FaceTimes, and then I'll be like, "Hey, how's it going? How's it going? We're on week 2," and they're just like, it's just like crickets and crickets. So just don't waste my time because I'm going to put time into you, and I put time and I take this seriously because I truly do want to help. Um, I truly do want to help you, and I truly do want to make sure that I can help you improve your life. Like I said, I'm not guaranteed to heal you, but I can give you suggestions and improve the quality of your life. And not even just. And now I'm starting to get into like a mindfulness thing. Where we're starting to improve like the mind and your connection and your connection with your soul. And so getting that right because the soul and the body are one, and they go hand in hand. And if one's not right, the other one's not going to work right. And as Lachey said, like you can juice all you want, but if you're not in the right environment, it's not going to work. You just beating a dead horse. It's not going to work. You might be semi healed, but you're not going to be fully healed. You're going to be like, man, I still got this issue, or like, man, my heart's still beating super fast all the time. So it's like you have to deal with a lot of things, like in juicing. If you juice it and if you juice and you also do like the spiritual healing with it, that's when you feel it. That's when you feel it's better because you're gonna have to face yourself in this situation. You're gonna have to look deep down and you're gonna take full accountability for everything you did, and you're gonna have to face fears. You're gonna have to face issues. You're gonna have to sit down with yourself and really deal with yourself. But once you deal with yourself, it's like the sun just shines even brighter because you're gonna have to face those monsters, and we all have monsters. Not one person on here does not have issues or a monster or something that's creeping inside and they have to deal with. And I'm not saying that the monster's gonna go away, but you'll learn how to defeat them every time they come up. So yeah, but yeah, so if you're looking for some help, looking for a life helper, I'm definitely here to help you. Like I said, I like to be involved. I like to do a video chat at least once a week. I'm kind of late this week, but a video talk, and I'll pretty much send you a voice message every morning, check on you, regular check-ins and stuff like that. We'll do a juicing plan, then a meal plan, because I cook. So there's people that come to me that they're not ready to go full fruit. So I'm like, hey, well, let's do some fruit. Let's do a fruit juice, but also you can cook this for this week. You can eat this, and then we'll work on getting you on the full fruits. And then we'll say, all right, let's do it. Or I'll start you off slowly. Let's do a 3-day juice fast, or let's do a 24-hour juice fast, and then go from there. And they're like, all right, let's do a 3-day juice fast. All right, let's do a week juice fast. So we'll see. And I got my clients approved. I have one, Marcia. She lost 18 pounds in 2 weeks. And then when she started to go on, she kind of messed up, but she felt bad. She was like, I know what to do now, because she knows she can't see it now. Now she's like, I got to get back on juicing because I messed up. And then so, like I said, patience, her kidneys have increased. If it was at 24 to at 31 now, I told her it's going to be a slow process, but we'll get there. I have a lady named Kendra who has MS. She's had MS for 20 years way before I've had it. So it's over 20 years, but she's doing amazing. But she was amazing before I met her. So I don't know if it's me or it was just her, but she is super good into it. So yeah, I have a lady named her name is Butterfly. She's losing weight. She's an older lady, but she's losing weight, and so she's loving it. So I'm trying to build testimonies right now to show people that this lifestyle does really work. And it's scary too. You're going to go through things. And also, I want to say one thing about doctors, and this is what I truly believe. I'm not a doctor, but I truly believe that the information they give us is so wrong sometimes. Meaning that, like, if I go into the doctor and I got to take a pee test, they got to look at my kidney function. If I haven't drank, like say, if I didn't drink anything the night before, if I haven't drank since I got there, my pee is going to have bubbles in it because I'm dried out. My pee will look clear if I have watermelon juice before I went in there. So the test is going to come back. It's going to be wrong, but you haven't even started your intake of nutrition that day, or your blood pressure could spike because you might have not had your herbs yet. So it's like certain things in there. It's just right on the spot. So don't believe when doctors, because doctors will try to scare you. Like they will try to scare you. Like, do not be scared of the doctors. If I look at it like this, if I'm still here walking around, I'm still here walking around. So it's like you can say what you want, but I'm still here walking around. I'm still moving. I'm still breathing. I'm still functioning at 1,000%. I'm not on a ventilator. I'm not in the bed. I'm not passed out. I'm still moving around. So I'm still moving around, and something's right with me. So I got time to change. So don't the doctors pump fear. That's what they do, and that's a fact. And I don't even I don't really like dealing with the doctors like that. But I still got to go because I'm still wrapping up my whole MS side of things. But yeah, but it's one of them things. It's like the medical system, as you say, this is a system. It's a system of getting you sick so they can basically own you. Like that's what they do. They own you. They own us with food. They own us.
Care. They call it health care, but it's really sick care.
Yeah, sick care. It's the owners. They own us with food so they can put money back in their pockets, and then we're pretty much slaves of them for life. Like that's all they're doing. They're getting us sick to make us their slave. And so we always got to be in debt to them. So, so like when you listen to a doctor, really listen to them, like pay attention and see if it's really for the best benefit of you. Like I never had one doctor tell me I should go on all fruit fast. Like that's simple. All they had to do was just say, go drink watermelon juice for 90 days. Let me see how you are. We're going to monitor you when you come back.
They will emphatically advise against it, actually.
They will tell you, don't do that. No, that's too much sugar. That you tripping. Like you I'm like, what? And then now I did it, like I said, because I was scared at first, but after my 30 days, I was like, nah, there's something going on there. They're lying. And then so it's one of those things. It's like doctors lie. Because like I said, I was in and out the hospital. IVs in my veins, had to get pricked all the time for blood work, like all the time, like for like a year straight. It was like sucked. It sucked. And I'm just like, this is just a money making scheme. Because like not one doctor just say, change your diet. Let's try this. Like that was simple. We'll put you on these herbs, do that.
And I don't think that they like all of them at least deliberately lie. I think that they are just taught to only know how medications interact with the body and how medications interact with other medications. And they genuinely don't believe that mostly any of the things that they diagnose can be healed, because that is literally how they have been educated. So like they've been through a 12-year course of education where they've gotten like, I think I was told like less than 12 hours of not like 2 hours or 12 hours of nutritional training out of 12 years. So it's like, there is no emphasis on how the body gets sick, which is basically by what you're consuming and, They know about stress. They'll tell you, they'll say this is a stress induced heart attack. Like they know environment affects health, but they act like they don't know that food affects health. And they put it in their media. Like I was watching a TV show called The First Wives Club, and there's this one character who is a surgeon, and she is overweight. She makes fun of people who drink green juices and eats healthy, eats pizza, is basically an alcoholic. All she does is drink, and she's a surgeon. Like she is like the idea of like black excellence in the show. And it's just so the messaging, you have this media, you have like the social engineering, so to speak, from the things that we're subconsciously consuming when we're sitting down just to take a break for our entertainment purposes, when we're watching TV and watching their TV shows and stuff. They're putting mixed messaging in there where they're normalizing on a subconscious level the so-called authorities of health undermining or making fun of things that would keep us living healthier and like keep us fit. And she was making fun of a chick who did yoga and had spiritual practices and was drinking celery juices. And it's like, it's weird, but they put these little things inside of it to subconsciously program us to believe that being healthy is actually unhealthy. Like it's just, but that's what they do. So they do it on a subconscious level, and then they have doctors treating us, having us believe that nothing about our physical bodies can be healed on its own.
Yeah, and that's
You need meds
yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah. They're like no, like you. It's like they have to control everything instead of us being really connected to God and the universe. They're not like, nah, God put everything in the universe. They put everything here we needed to heal ourselves. Like that's one thing Yaki always said. Yaki said everything is here that you need to heal yourself, and I really believe that. And I'm a walking testament of that. And so it's like they just been lying to us and just indoctrinating. Like I said, I went to my friend's house, and it was his wife. His wife's a nurse, and she had her two friends there. So I walk in. I'm like, hey guys, I'm telling them my story, but I can tell they're kind of dismissing my story because they're so programmed to think everything they've been taught, because they don't want to believe everything they've been taught is a lie. Because like I put all these years into practice, but I'm like, hey, no, I just straight fruits. I do this, herbs, and this and that, and this is how I got my kidneys function up. They say, chronic kidney disease can't be reversed, and I'm like, and it's like this and that, and they're looking at me, and like I said, they're not they're like okay shape, but they're like looking at me like, yeah, but now they're like talking to each other in like nurse term stuff I don't understand. I'm just like, listen, let's eat some fruit and some herbs. Like that's all I know. I'm basic. I'm just like, but they've been so programmed to be taught that the first thing we should go to is diet and plants. And that's, like I said, I understand, but it's like people just can't grasp their mind around it to be like, this is all I need to do, because it's almost like it's too simple. It's like that's just too easy. That's not gonna fix me. That's too easy. Like I have to go get something where I don't know what it's called and listen to some person that went to school for 35 years and put that in my body and take that. And it's like, why? Like if you don't know what that does to you, like you have no clue. They don't even know what that does to you. And it's like you're taking, and another note, we're taking advice from somebody that hasn't gone what you've gone through. Like somebody's giving somebody advice on high blood pressure who don't have high blood pressure. Somebody's giving advice on multiple sclerosis that hasn't been through multiple sclerosis. You can only tell me so much. Because it's like, hey, my hands tingle. All right, we're gonna give you this and that. But how do you know that? Like you don't know if that's right. You don't know if that's wrong. So it's like you don't understand it. So it's like a lot of people, and that's what I don't like about the industry too, because I would rather take advice from somebody at least who's been through it, and that is put some work on themselves to be like, hey, this works for you. But all they're going to do is prescribe medication that they don't know what works. Is they're getting paid by a pharmaceutical sales rep came in there and gave them some medication, and they're just trying it out on you. So,
yeah, all true healers had to heal themselves first. And that's how a lot of healers are born. They had to go through their own trial, and they had to get themselves out of it, and they had to go through it mentally and physically, and they had to heighten their spirit to a place where they had to stop responding to the lower desires of the body, and they really had to rise up in that higher self in order to start making decisions that is going to help us in the long term versus the instant gratification that we've been programming and conditioning ourselves to experience over the course of our life because we didn't know any better. But, now we do know better. And now it's like literally unlearning everything and then relearning something new. And you have to apply it while you're learning it at the same time. Like, it's a lot. It's not easy. This journey is not for the weak. But if you're committed to your health, if you want to live a longer life, some people don't. Some people would rather still just eat unhealthy until their last days and say, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. If that's what they do, that's on them, it is what it is. But, if you want to live, if you have a will to live, you should be willing to sacrifice 90 days out of the next 20, 30, 40 years you're going to buy yourself.
And you're right. You gotta think it's only 90 days. Like, it's not long. 90 days goes by like that. Now time doesn't even exist. So 90 days will be like, and it'll be 90 days, and then you can flow in and you can start cooking. Like I said, I cook all the time now, and it's like I enjoy it. Like, I truly enjoy it. I made some coconut ice cream with just some organic fresh coconut milk, put it in the freezer, do a little bit of agave, some vanilla up in there, some like organic vanilla, and came out so good. And it's just like you can start to live a life and you enjoy it. Like, I enjoy making fruit smoothies. I enjoy making fruit juices. I enjoy fruit bowls. I also enjoy wild rice. I enjoy making Asian dishes. I enjoy making replicas of things that I used to like in this whole food matter. So yeah.
Sacrifice the pleasure of eating just because the food is better for you. You don't have to eat high fructose corn syrup and MSG and sodium chloride and all of these things, these drugs and these toxins that they put inside of it to make it more stimulating and heighten, the flavor enhancements. You don't have to consume that to enjoy a meal. That's straight up addiction. That's you getting a dopamine hit every time you take a bite. People are legitimate addicts. Like, they'll take a bite and they're like, oh my God, their eyes start rolling in the back of their head. They start dancing. That's an addiction. But I do that with healthy food. Like, you make a fire chickpea curry, quinoa. I love plantains. Like, you still gonna do your little jig while you take a bite, especially if
yeah. My sister called me the other day. She said, because I made the peach cobbler, she said, oh my gosh, I did not feel full. She was like, I ate it and I felt good. Like, I felt like I could still like move around. You eat certain stuff, you feel stuffed and bloated. There's not a dish I make that people feel bloated or tired from. So it's like,
it's not supposed to make you be
make you feel bloated or tired from. And it's like, even if I feel like not like full, but if I'm stuffed, I'm like, I can't eat anymore. It's a difference. It's like, my stomach is gonna blow up, but I can still move around. Like, I'm not sluggish. Like, I'm able to move. And so it's like, if you eat the right stuff in your body knows when it's right. Mm-hmm. Like, this is right for me. And if it's not right, it's gonna let you know, like, I gotta get out of here. This is not right.
But people gotta develop a relationship with their body to even know the difference, because that is
the best thing I've heard right now. People, you gotta develop a relationship with your body.
Yeah, because people will be lactose intolerant and will take pills so that they'll take lactose pills so that they can have pizza and they can do all these things. And it's like, bro, like, your body's literally telling you, no, I can't consume that. And you're just like, I don't care. It's like, that's you not honoring your body. You have a trash relationship with your body, because you don't listen to it when it's communicating with you. So it's like, let's start honoring our bodies. Let's start really listening to our bodies when we eat something or drink something and we feel pains in our stomach, or we develop, you start feeling lightheaded. If there's anything that you consume and you start to feel some kind of way after the consumption of that thing, or your body breaks out, or you get a rash, that is your body communicating with you. Your body is a living organism that communicates, so just respect it for the intelligence that it is, because it is the house for our spirits. So our spirits lead us to whatever choices we're going to make, which is why, the body's like a guidance system, so to speak. It's like a compass. So when you're consuming something, or if you're in an environment and your body's responding to it, It's up to your spirit to connect with your body to be like, okay, maybe I should change course. So develop a relationship with your body, really listen to it when you're consuming things. Start journaling your food choices, even if you're on a health journey and you are eating great, and then you have like one day where you end up eating something that is off course to your plan. Still write it down, and then be in observance of how you feel after you've consumed that thing, and then write down how you feel, and really start logging your journey on what you ate, how you feel after you eat it, whether it's a good feeling or a bad feeling, because now you can go back and really analyze the consumption. Is like, okay, so I noticed that this always happens when I'm eating this. Like, we do the most for our careers. Like, we will go hard at in college. We will study every day. We will read those books, know it in and out, so we can pass these standardized tests so that we can make it to the next thing. We will put so much energy into understanding everything outside of ourselves, but we won't put that same energy into our own bodies, which is what we actually need in order to have the best quality experience of all that stuff that we're learning.
Yeah, you're right. And because when you're healthy, you're a better person for everybody around you. Your kids, your mother, your father, your friends. You're just a better person. You're active. You can move. You're agile. You're able to help. And it's like, we are, like I said, we go so hard for everything else, our jobs, get these degrees, get this test. We gotta get this promotion. And we'll put ourselves last when we should be putting ourselves first. And we disrespect ourselves so much. And it's just like, we don't, it's almost like we don't care about ourselves. That's like it shows you, like, hey, I don't really care about myself. Like, I'm gonna still eat that. I'm gonna do that. And it doesn't really, and it doesn't affect you until something serious happens, to where you have a heart attack, to where you got to go to the hospital, to where you're in the bed and now you're like, I gotta get myself together because I might not make it next time. And it's scary. It's one of those things. It's like, yeah. So I would say you gotta respect yourself. Like, that's the big thing. Respect that body. And I love that. I'm gonna post that quote everywhere. Have a relationship with your body. Like, have a relationship with it. Talk to yourself. Be in tune with yourself. I talk to myself all the time. People think I'm crazy. I'm at a grocery store. I'm talking to myself. I'm like, I'm in a full conversation. They're like, this guy's nuts. I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's how it's supposed to be, though. Like, we need to be our own best friend. Like, we're the one who have to be with us all the time. And we are constantly saying things. We have internal dialogue. So the quality of that internal dialogue always will be a reflection of the quality of experience we have in our life. So if we hate ourselves, we're constantly saying things that's like very self-disparaging, like, oh, why do I keep doing this wrong? Why am I this big? Why can't I get it right? Oh my God, I have to go to work. I hate this. I hate my life. I got to deal with this person. Like, the stuff that we're constantly barraging ourselves internally is a reflection of the quality of friendship we have with ourselves. And if you're constantly saying bad things about yourself, you don't like yourself that much. So it's about being conscious of what you say to yourself, for number one. This is mindset work, being intentional about not allowing those thoughts to linger in your head for too long, and start deliberately practicing changing that conversation into a more high vibrational, more self-loving conversation. So, like, if you love yourself, you're going to talk to yourself, but it's about what you're saying to yourself when you're talking to yourself. So the words are very powerful. Our throat chakra, this is all sound vibration. This is all what we say is a command to the universe. So we have to be very mindful of what is in our heads and what comes out of our mouths. So it's a good practice to talk to yourself, but it's important to say the right things when you are talking to yourself, because you're developing a good relationship with yourself. The more you love on yourself with your words, heightens the chance that you're going to start actually taking higher actions for yourself as well. And you're not going to allow others to talk to you any kind of way and all of that.
Yeah, and like I said, because I'm a person that people's like, why are you always laughing for? Like, that's I just find humor in life. Like, I like to laugh because laughter is just, it's a good high frequency for you. And I love to laugh. Like, so I'll be looking at something. I might be telling jokes to myself, and I'm just laughing. People probably looking like, this guy's nuts. But that's just how I am. I don't care. Like I said, I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna be goofy. I'm gonna be funny. And yeah, so I would say, yeah, you have to talk to yourself. You have to put yourself first. Like you're so worried about putting everything else around you first. But if you don't put yourself first, you will end up in a place where you don't need to be at, to where you have to climb up out of a hole. And I just want to prevent you from even having to get into that hole. I was in that hole. And I got up out of there. But in order to convince you, you can just start and just start loving yourself. Like, don't let nobody build that relationship with yourself that can't be broken. And once you build that, everything else around you will start to develop. And when you do create this, once you do reach that side of yourself that you need to reach, everything around you will be around you that needs to be around you, and everything that needs to be away from you will be removed. And you have to be able to let go of stuff too. Like, you have to let go of stuff and be able to, like, I gotta let that go. That's not right for me. And then the stuff, like I said, I've been fortunate enough to have a great group of friends, God friends, that have been my brother since I was, my oldest one. I was like 8 years old, but the other ones met in high school. So we all 20-year plus relationships. But I just been blessed to have those because we've always been understanding of each other. Like, they might not live my lifestyle, but they're gonna support me because they've seen me. Like, anybody that's seen me cannot deny my lifestyle because they saw where I was at. They saw me. They called me on the phone. They realized I didn't have a voice. I was weak. They saw me when I couldn't walk, when I couldn't move. So you have to respect me. Like, there's no out of this. I was like, if he ate poop doing his lifestyle, he's a poop eater. You know what I'm saying? He came back to life, but he ate fruit, and that's who he is. So you have to respect me, and they know that I really live this lifestyle because I show it. If I'm coming to visit them, I got my fruit juice with me. They having a barbecue, I'm bringing my fruit. I'm bringing like a basket of fruit, and I'll bring some stuff that I can cook for myself and put it on the grill. So, you just have to love yourself and just stand on this lifestyle, and don't be afraid, because I know a lot of people will come for you in this. Because I know you deal with it as a host, and that how people talk crazy underneath the comments, and everybody has some backlash on stuff that you say, and it's like, and that's going to be normal, but you just have to ignore that because they're not a part of your real circle. They're just people that just talking. They're just people with an opinion, like an a-hole. Everybody has one, but they're just talking to talk. But people that have lived this, people that have been through this, that have real stories and real journeys, that's who you need to only respect. That's what I respect. I respect people that have receipts. That's what I'm about. Like, hey, you're saying that, but what have you been through? What have you healed? What have you accomplished? How has it made you better? And then, so that's what I look for. And your journey is going to be your receipt. That's what's going to happen. Like, you're going to go through things. You're going to go through the healing process, and healing is not easy. It's called healing for a reason. You've been cut, you've been wounded. So you have to, it takes time to get those things back together, but embrace it. Like, embrace the journey, love it, endure it. And it will, at the end of it, there's like a huge light at the end of the tunnel, and you will be so happy.
Amen. Like you said, definitely don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't even take advice from. And know that it's a journey. Don't go into it trying to figure out where the finish line is. Don't be mentally at the finish line before you've even started. Don't ask, how long will it take for me to heal from you? If you're going there in that mindset, that means that you're looking for when you can go back to destructive habits and behaviors. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to make lifestyle changes so that you won't ever have to feel like that again. And as soon as you start, you're going to start feeling good by your third day. It doesn't take long for you to really start feeling better because you're no longer harming yourself with acidic things. So you're already on the right track. You're already getting your body in a cleansing process. You're going to have days where you're really lethargic because your body needs time to rest and repair. So you just need to sleep, like whatever. But just know that it's a journey. It's going to take time, and have it in your mind, like how you have like a 5 or a 10-year plan. If you have a 5 or a 10-year plan for your career, your finances, have a 5 or a 10-year plan for your health, essentially. Like go in here saying that, in 5 years, I want to be so healthy that I'm able to run a marathon. I want to conquer this hike, on this mountain. Like, have the mindset that create a milestone, but you know what it's going to take to get there. You know it's going to take time. So you're going in there knowing that you're committing your life to betterism. We're focusing on getting better at getting better. Getting better at being better. Just like we have to just focus on making better choices day after day. You don't have to make perfect choices to start. You just have to start weaning yourself. You have to transition. Just make it as sustainable as possible. Um, but the goal is just to start feeling better in general. Don't try to rush the process, because in your impatience, you're going to go backwards. You're going to start emotionally eating, because you're going to start harping on the why instead of asking yourself what. We ask ourselves the wrong questions when we're starting on any journey. We're always victimizing ourselves. Oh, why am I going through this? Why can't I just? Versus, what can I do to get me closer to better health? Like, what can I get involved in? Where can I go for guidance and accountability? Stop asking why and start changing the question, so that you're more action oriented, and you know that you're going to put yourself in a position to get better, and know that you don't have to be perfect in order to get there. Just start making small changes, and just take it one day at a time, and that's really all that's required. And the time is going to go by regardless, so you might as well use that time making the best choices to the best of your ability, with the goal of just getting better you know
And I would say this: don't get too, because there's a lot of information out there and a lot of different people talking. A lot of people have great points, but don't get so hung up on, you get so confused that you get discouraged. Keep it simple. Listen to everybody, but take here and there. Like, all right, I'm going to start off like this. Like, don't try to go full fledged into like I remember Bobby had said this. He was like, man, if you're coming off the sad diet, you're not going to jump right in and do a 90 days watermelon fast the next day. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to, like, I would say, like, at least 95% of people not going to lock in after eating McDonald's for 20 years, and then the next day they're going to do a 90-day watermelon fast. You're probably going to break, but hey, say, all right, I'm going to start off, I'm going to do 3 days watermelon. I'm going to do 3-day fruit fast. I'm going to do 7-day whole. Like, ease yourself into it. Don't rush it. Like, don't, and you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff. People going to talk about herbs and this and that. Pick 1 or 2 herbs. Like, you're going to hear a million. Everybody has different, they have different theories. They might be right too. But it's so much information. Don't let the information discourage you from trying. Start simple. Just pick 1 or 2 things. Like, don't try to go off the handle where you're trying to mix this, and that. And I'm going to eat this, and that this week. Like, no, just keep it simple. Like, this lifestyle of, like, we're eating from the earth. We're eating what God has put on earth, what the universe has put here. And it's simple. It's not complicated, So it's like, you don't have to worry about, like you said, I love Yaki's green juice, but it was so complicated. I was like, man, I can't buying celery and parsley and got to get the lemon. And I was just like, man, this is getting out of hand. I was like, a cucumber and cut it. I was like, all right, it was too much for me. Like I said, not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying, like, I was like, it wasn't simple enough. I like to keep it simple, like, just have a couple things in there, put it in the juicer, and let it go from there. So, but don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. Like, you keep it simple, it's going to work out easier for you, and you'll be happier that way.
Amen. All right. Well, this is a really good show. We've maintained a good audience throughout. There's a lot of engagement in the chats. And it's so funny. So we thought we were wrapping it up. And then there's just so much to say. We could sit here and talk about this all day, because it's just like, number one, when it impacts your life personally, you become passionate about it. And we know we live in a sick world. We know that a lot of people are prematurely transitioning are in place right now were designed to actually heal instead of just maintain um, sickness, and kind of like be in this prolonged state of 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 illness, basically normalizing the normalization of diabetes, the normalization of cancer, the normalization of MS, the normalization of all of these diagnoses that people literally identify themselves with. Like some people identify themselves with their health issues. Some people normalize them, well, they identify themselves that way. So they'll never detach the diagnosis from the person. So they go through life just always, and again, the mind is so powerful, always believing that there's nothing that can ever be done with the condition that they're in. So when you tell them that there is something that they can do, they won't believe you and don't believe you because they put more trust in the institutions and the people who are of authority when it comes to health. And like we've normalized delegating our health to a third party versus becoming our own entrusted medical practitioner. Like it's you who have to live in your body.
Yeah.
Nobody knows your body better than you, not even your doctor. You have to tell them everything about you in order for them to even diagnose you. You
And it's
know?
what we're doing is we're pretty much we're just giving them our life in our hands. That's what we're doing. We're saying, I'm putting my life in your hands because I don't want to know how to take care of my life. So you're giving up the responsibility of you taking care of yourself and putting it in somebody else's hands and saying, here you go. I'm gonna do whatever you tell me to do. And it's like all the institutions run together. The same people that create these, Lunchables and all this crappy food, the same people that run the healthcare centers. They're behind corporate. It's all corporate. It's all about business. It's all about money. So it's like um it's like you're just relinquishing all your powers to take care of yourself. They might as well be your, your the person that signs for you when you die, because that's what they're waiting for. And then so it's one of those things where it's like you have to just start taking accountability and taking ownership of yourself. And a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people are scared to be responsible. Like, hey, this is my body. I have to make sure I got it and get it right, because they feel like they have so much other stuff going on that it's like it's enough. It's like it's almost like it's crazy to look at it, but they look at themselves as a burden on themselves. It's like I got too much going on. I can't worry about myself. I got to worry about everything else around me.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. Even my own friends will like be inspired by me and they'll be like, "Oh my god, I swear I'm going to get into that soon." But like they're always waiting until after they they'll be like, "Oh, well, I got this going on with the kids and I have classes and then I got to work." Like they're waiting until magically they don't have to do that stuff anymore to start prioritizing their health. Like they kind of like make the connection that you have to like, it's like, girl, stop making excuses. That like you're not going to start doing better after your workload decreases. You're not going to start eating better after your workload decreases. Like you have to eat anyways. It's about the choice of what you're putting in your body during that time. Like they act like they only have a choice to eat unhealthy. Like they act like convenience eating is only unhealthy eating. You can conveniently eat fruit. It's actually the easiest thing to eat. You don't have to microwave it. You don't have to cut it. You don't have to, I mean, unless it's like a watermelon. And even then, you can just slice it in the middle, eat it like a bowl. Like,
Yeah.
like it's easy. Grapes, clean the grapes, pop them in your mouth. Like, it's not that complicated, but they have to start seeing that as food because they don't think it's enough to sustain them. But we just have to learn that less is more. You don't need uh this multi-textured plate in front of you to be nourished and be full. Like you can live off of a bag of oranges. You can live off of a bag of apples. That's a meal. You can live off of a big bag of grapes. That's a meal. You can live off of a half of a watermelon. That is a meal. So it's about like changing how we view a meal because we've been conditioned to see a meal as as steak, side of potatoes, and some corn.
Yeah.
And you think you need to have all this heavy food, but in reality, after you eat that, it doesn't give you more energy. It actually sits you down. It makes you more tired. It makes you want to go to sleep. But when you eat the fruit, you're satiated because you eat as much as you need until you're no longer hungry. You're hydrated, so you actually feel a little bit better. You're starting to use the bathroom more, so you're eliminating waste, so you're starting to get a little bit more energized from the fructose that goes directly into your blood cell through diffusion. It bypasses the pancreas. You don't have to use insulin in order to metabolize the sugar. Everything we consume breaks down into a simple sugar. Like, we just have to have a better understanding of how our bodies work and the relationship with the food that we're biologically designed to consume versus the food that the medical industrial complex, the food industrial complex, that society has kind of forced upon us through the food pyramid or whatever. Like, we have to just like deprogram from the programming and uncondition from the programming and start to really know our bodies and really observe the relationship that we have with what we consume. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit time for you to get used to it, but trust and believe, you go a week eating nothing but fruit or drinking juices, you're going to go and try to go back to what you ate, and it's not going to feel right. You're going to miss that light feeling in your stomach because you literally feel like light.
Yeah, and you're right, like you say, and it's really getting over that deprogramming and stop being scared to get over the program, because a lot of it is fear, because they pump fear through this programming, so it makes you just feel like if I don't do it, like I'm not doing it right, I'm not doing it right. But get over that fear and just go for it and just try it out. And like, I've never met one person that's done a juice fast that has said that I felt bad off of it. They said they went through detox symptoms, but they also love it at the end. They're like, it was hard, but man, I felt great at the end of that. So like I said, it expels all that bad stuff out of our body. And like you said, you eat fruit, you just feel hydrated, you feel good, you feel amazing. And your body tells you when to stop eating it. Like, you can't, I can't overeat watermelon. Like, if I eat, my body like, oh, you're done. Like,
Yeah.
and my body like, unless you want to be peeing all night, we better stop eating right now. So I'm like, all right, let me stop. Like, so, but yeah, let you know, even regular foods I eat, when I eat my cooked foods, like, they're from the earth. So when I eat them, my body's like, all right, you're good. You don't need any more. And it's like, and I'm like, I'm fine. Like, I don't have that feeling no more to want more. Like, when you ate regular food, like, I gotta have another burger. I gotta eat more fries. Let me have another steak. And it's like, I want to eat more. Now I'm stuffed and I'm tired. I'm wanting to go to sleep. But what I cook now, I eat. Sometimes it's the big plate, sometimes it's the smaller plate, sometimes it's the medium sized plate. It just depends how my body's telling me. It's like, all right, let's eat some more. All right, I'm a little bit hungry. But sometimes it's like, hey, just all we need is that a little bit. So you become in tune with your body, and you realize there's no one set of way the right way to eat. Like, they gave us all these things. You got to eat 3 meals a day. You got to eat 2 meals a day. You got to fast from this time, eat from this time. I'm just like, no, you listen to your body. The biggest thing I'm going to tell everybody is do not listen to your body and become, like I said, become one with your body. Listen to yourself. Like, don't worry about anybody else. Everybody is different. Everybody is different. Some people, they say they eat with the sun at noon, and that's they eat with the sun at like noon o'clock. At noon. And I'm like, that's fine. I get up in the morning, I go to the gym, I work out, I'm hungry. I eat some watermelon, I drink a watermelon juice. Then I might have like some wild rice, some chickpeas, probably around 10, 11 o'clock. That's what my body's telling me. I'm fine with that. So that's what keeps me going. Some people might eat past 7 o'clock because they work crazy hours. They work crazy hours in the daytime. And then so they got to eat then. So their body's acclimated to them being a little bit more awake at night. So they have to eat at that time. So you work on your body and you work on your schedule. Just put the right things in it. Like, don't listen to all the excess stuff that you hear. I mean, if you want to get into it, I just don't get into it. I listen to myself.
I agree. There's a lot of people that you'll find in this health community with different schools of thought, things that work for them. And some people act like it's their way or the highway. And truth be told, we're all individuals and we all know what's best for us. We're all at different levels of health. We're all at different levels of toxicity. Like, you can't do what everybody does. Actually, depending on your level of toxicity, like, if you're not like on your deathbed, but you still have like a high toxic load and you know that you're still kind of sick, it can be dangerous to try to jump right into like doing all fruits. Like, you have to transition into it because your lymphatic system is so stagnant, and you're finally moving those lymphatic fluids, but your kidneys aren't filtering the way that they're supposed to. So you're actually holding on to the toxicity, which can actually make you very sick. And you could actually you can really hurt yourself if
Yeah,
you're not
yeah,
able to properly
yeah. So
release
like
the
I said, like just certain things. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. Like I said, so it's complex because like if you are sick and you are on that kind of like that range, it's like you have to be careful on how you maneuver with it. You know, you have to
That's
stop.
why you listen to yourself and not others.
Yeah, yeah. You be like, hey, all right, I can drink that. I'm not gonna drink. I can't drink that much juice. I can do this much juice right now. I can
Yeah,
eat this much fruit right now. And you slowly, like you said, you got to become one. You have to become one with yourself. If you don't want to listen to yourself, it's not going to work out how you need it to work out for you, because it's not going to be a quick fix either. Like you said, like it's not going to be overnight. It's going to take time to get there. I am still healing. I am 1,000% better than I was before, but I am still healing on and still going higher and higher in my journey. So I am and I'm still detox. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to be done detox for the next 10, 15 years.
too. Like I'm
Yeah,
constantly.
I've been doing bad. I'm about to be 40 this December. I've been eating bad since I was 5 years old, like McDonald's, and had regular food, cooked foods too. But fast food world was a thing, and frozen dinners and honey buns and Skittles and Snicker bars and ice cream and all that stuff I was eating that since I was 5. Up until I was 30, 36, 37. So I have 30 years, 31 years to get out of my system. Everything that I put in my system from them, I'm working on removing that right now. So it's not going to happen in 2 or 3 years. Like totally, I'm on the right journey, but I'm not patient with it because I know it's going to take time.
We've eased symptoms, but we have not 100%
Yeah,
fully, completely healed our bodies. That literally takes time. It takes 7 years for the body to actually change completely on a cellular level. Like you'll have a completely new body every 7 years.
yeah,
So if you have that frame of mind, your health journey, that could be level 1 when you first started is 7 years. Have that state of mind. Like, okay, this is stage 1 of my metamorphosis. So 7 years should be your 1 year, mentally
yeah, yeah.
versus matter of perspective.
Yeah, so that's how I just want to say, everybody. I just want to say, just be patient. You got to be patient with yourself. Like you said, it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. Like it's not going to happen overnight. You're not. You got to take your time with it and ease into it and enjoy it. I would just say enjoy it. I enjoy juice in the beginning. I enjoy watermelon. I love watermelon. I don't know what it's about watermelon, but watermelon is just so good, and I love watermelon juice. Like that's like my favorite thing. I love mangoes. I love mango. I love mango and what I make mango and cantaloupe juice. I love that. Like I love experimenting with fruit. So love experimenting with it. Love having fun. Don't look at it as a chore or a task. Look at it as it's a part of my life and I love it because it is making you a better person. It is making you healthier. And if you are healthier in this journey, you're healthy on the outside, but you also become healthier on the inside. And once you do become that healthier, everything around you will start to change, and it'll start to change for the better.
Yep. It's about making decisions from a place of love versus a place of fear. I know fear kind of gets us our foot in the door because the scary things are happening to us, and now we're finally ready to make a change. But don't be fear driven. Learn how to pivot from, okay, this was scary and this happened to me, but be mindful about making a change of perspective and mindset and see it as an opportunity to grow. Like we don't really ever have problems in life, we just have challenges, and just see it as a challenge. And challenges are opportunities to grow on a spiritual level. And that's really why we are here on this planet, is to evolve spiritually. So sometimes we have to go through the dark and to know, not even sometimes, we always have to go through the dark to know really to experience the light. Because otherwise, if we're comfortable, we don't have a reason
Yeah,
to start making extreme changes for the better just because we want to, because we enjoy being in that comfort zone. And if there is no consequence to that comfort zone, why change? So, we have to get put into situations that force us to change. And change isn't bad. Change is just it's like unlocking a new level of life. And yeah, you got to go through this hard stuff in order to get there. But after that, like, you're forever changed. Like, you are a completely different person on a completely different plane and trajectory. And it changes the quality of experience here on this planet. And it's a lesson that you get to learn, a karmic lesson that you don't have to repeat, so that you can actually truly genuinely evolve on a spiritual level when you transcend or transition off of
You
this planet.
you literally just described like my MS situation. Like MS is the best thing that happened to me. I am grateful for MS and chronic kidney, and I'm grateful for all of that because MS got me out of my situation I was with in Florida. Because my mom came and got me. I was really looking at buying a house with this person, and I was going to be like kind of locked in with this person for a long time if I bought that house. And I honestly believe God, the universe got together and said, all right, you're not going to leave on your own, but this place is not good for you. You're going to die. Because I would have died. Like if I wouldn't, not even because of MS, I'd die because I was drinking too much or something like that. But it was like, all right, I'm gonna get you up out of here, but you're not gonna like it. And then I think he got me MS. My mom came and got me, brought me to North Carolina. And then I got MS, but MS set me down. Like I couldn't move. It made me think. It made me start to evaluate myself. It made me start to evaluate life and start to move. And even in the bed, that's when I started learning about fruit and all this other stuff. And then Yaki and learning about spiritual stuff and this and then more stuff and getting involved in that. And then I just started to elevate and I started to be more and more mindful and be more and more better and become more and more a better person and just raising myself up and becoming stronger and better. And then I came out of it and now I love where I'm at now. You know, I love the fact that fruits are, you know, a basis of my life and that I eat what's from the earth. And then I get to discuss people like I like meeting people like you and everybody around me that's into this lifestyle, and that to see that how they've grown and how they feel like they're still growing and they're still climbing. And then so it's just amazing because you do come. This is me coming out of MS. Like, and that's why I love MS for, because if it wasn't for MS, I wouldn't be here doing this. I'd probably still be eating cheeseburgers waiting until I had a heart attack somewhere. So, but now I enjoy what I do now. I enjoy life. I am happy. I'm at peace. I'm just grateful right now. And I'm stronger than I've ever been. I'm actually with Bobby's walking challenge. I never walked that much in my life. Like I never did. Like even like I would walk every morning and I come back home, I'm walking like and talking, but I've never been like a walker. Like I might sprint, but I've never been a walker. But that opened me up to even more where it's like, man, I got to walk more. So now I'm gonna make sure I walk, maybe 3 or 4 miles a day just to get that exercise in and get that going. But that challenge opened me up. And then so that elevated me even higher. So, but I will say that, yeah, you go through stuff. And like MS has brought me through. Like I went through darkness. I was in like HE double hockey sticks. I don't know if I can say that, but I was down there. Like I couldn't move. Like I was in the hospital. I'm about to cry. My mom is like, "These are the nurse's job. That's what they're here to take care of you." I was just ashamed. I was like, man, I'm going to the bathroom by myself. I got to call somebody when I got to do something. And it was like I couldn't move. And I was just in the dumps. I was just like, man, my mom she was really my rock. She was like, listen, you go through it. You're going to be okay. And then I had to come home and I felt worse because she cooked me breakfast every morning, got me out the bed in the wheelchair, wheeled me around the house because I didn't have the wheels on the side. I had to kick my legs around to move. So in the beginning, I couldn't move my legs at all. So my mom had to push me. Mm. And then so like she was cooking for me, cleaning for me. If I went to the bathroom myself at night, I gotta, hey mom, I went to the, blah, blah, blah. Can you come clean me up? So she had to come clean me up. If I laundry, had to get me in the chair, take my sheets off the bed, I'm just regularly wash my clothes, fold my stuff. So I was really like, I was sad because I can't do anything. I'm like, man, I don't want to be like this again. In my mind, I was like, I never want to be at a point where somebody's got to take care of me because that was my fault. Like I was there because everybody's taking care of me now because of my actions, because of me eating bad, me drinking, me in a bad relationship. I chose to do those things. Like that was all my take 100%. And I was blessed to have people there for me, but I was just down. I was just like, man, when I came out of it, when I started walking again, I started to see the light. That's when I started to kind of get my spirits back up and get moving. But the journey's going to take you. It's going to take you through some low valleys. You're going to go through some things. But when you do come out of it, it is, I'm I'm super happy I went through it, because nobody can take that story away from me. And now I can help people, and I have proof. Like, I have receipts. I'm standing right in front of you. I got pictures of me in the hospital. I got wheelchairs in my house. I can show you. You know, I can call my physical people, my physical therapy people. They'll tell you. So it's like I've been through the ringer. I've been through the worst of the worst, and I'm here now.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, this really is a spirit, mind, and body process, because like you said, your life, so our body's state of our state of health is a reflection of our spirit, and our spirit is a reflection of our life, like outside of us ultimately. And the reflection of your life was unfulfilled relationship, you weren't happy, you were really stressed out, you were overburdened with finances to take care of a family of children that didn't even belong to you. You didn't even have kids of your own, and you took on that responsibility, you know, and that weighed on you, like that broke your spirit and made you unhappy, and it led to heavy drinking and unhealthy eating and all of that. And you were off course from the purpose of why you were put here spiritually, like why your spirit came into this world. You had a mission, and you were off course on that mission. So, you know, the universe or God, you know, threw you a challenge to get you back on course. And like, it had to be an extreme challenge in order for you to pivot and be here today telling your story about how you had to overcome physical health issues and toxic relationships by having, you know, an extreme diagnosis where you lost your senses and motor skills and couldn't even go to the bathroom on your own, and you had to live with family to be taken care of, and then you had to learn how to develop a relationship with your body, and you had to listen to your body, and then you had to start changing how you viewed food and change your complete relationship with it. Had to stop drinking alcohol, you had to stop eating meat, you had to stop consuming dairy. You had to start learning how to accept and surrender to the fact that I just need to be eating these fruits. Do I know what I'm doing? No. But am I willing to try it? You tried it, made you feel good, continued on with it, and like now we're here. So it's like everything we're experiencing is just like helping us. Is not only just helping how we feel physically, but it's literally leading us to our purpose. And if we just start seeing ourselves more as spirits instead of bodies, and start having this macro vision of our existence here and our purpose, life gets so much better, like more sharper, more defined. Like you actually know what you're getting up for every day, and you're in alignment, so you don't feel the tension, the stress. Your nervous system isn't out. So like, if that's how you are feeling today, right now in your life, and you're watching this, listen to your body, take inventory of what's going on in your life, start really thinking about decisions that need to be made that's going to get you on course to why you're put here. Because you know, this can be a sign that you can just start making decisions on your own, or you're going to have to keep making certain choices until your body completely gives up on you, and hopefully not to 0%, to where you don't have a chance. And now you have to go through the same karmic lessons in another lifetime. Like, I think about this so much deeper than just like getting up every day, work, you know, to eat, sleep, poop, be entertained by TV, have sex, go to the club. Like, what this Matrix has made life is so superficial and unreal and unserious compared to like what life really is. And it's not to say that the things in the Matrix aren't like, you know, like, sure, like we can enjoy them. We're not robots to a degree, but there's got to be a greater purpose than just constantly indulging in simple pleasures, you know, like constantly feeding ourselves and being consumers of pleasure and our senses.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, totally. It's like that. Like nothing wrong. Like I said, me, and my mom, we watch a Tubi movie every night, and that is it is a pleasure. But more than that, it's the fact that me and my mom are together, and we get to enjoy and laugh and joke. And so it's more of like a spiritual connection, a bond. It's a consistent bond that we have every night. We both get off of work. We're both tired. We're both ready to relax, and we sit on there. We watch Steve Harvey. What's that? Price is Right. Family Feud. We watch Family Feud, and then we watch a Tubi movie. But that is such a bonding time.
It's a tool.
It's a tool. Yeah, and we enjoy it. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with enjoying it, but like don't let it consume you. Like don't. I've been there. I've been where I was a scroller. Especially when I first got on TikTok, I'd be scrolling. I get up at like maybe 1, 2 in the morning. I look up, it's like 4 o'clock. I'm like, oh my gosh, like they really got me. And I would do that all the time. I became like an habitual scroller. And I'm like, and once I thought to myself, I was like, why do I care about this? Like, why do I care about all this? They make us care about everything that's fake. Like everything, everybody's issues, everything that's going on with somebody. It's like, why am I worried about this? I need to worry about what's going on in my niece's life, what's going on in my nephew's life, what's going on in my mother, what's going on in my best friend, how my god kids doing. Like I need to focus on that more than to worry about, such and such going through this, such and such been arrested, such. I'm like, why do I care for it? And I was just like, I really started to check myself more and more and more. Like I said, I still indulge, like I still laugh about stuff, like such and such got caught with a whole bunch of baby oil. I laughed. I was like, that's funny. I was like, I was like, all right. I was like, that was cool. But I would never indulge myself and go deeper and be like, why this and do that. I was just like,
yeah, like it's just
it is like it's
action, ultimately.
Sex, but like I look at stuff, I laugh and I keep scrolling. I'm like, all right, that's good. That's all I need to see. But like you said, you don't let it consume you now. You have to consume yourself with the right things. That's all it is. It's just like everything is like it's like the food pyramid. It's like, it's like real life. It's like with fruit, you consume yourself with the right things. So with media, you got to consume yourself with the right things. Spiritually, you have to consume yourself with the right things. Just make sure you're consuming yourself with the right things. So you know how to filter out what's real and what's not real.
Yeah, it's all a part of it. But yeah, we can end it there. We're too deep. We 2 hours. I love this. This was honestly one of my favorite conversations. Like we got real deep. It was meaningful. It was purposeful. It's not only just about food. It's about environment. It's about our spirits. It's about evolution. It's about coming out of this human experience, being a more refined spirit that we entered into our bodies, like being intentional about that, like being on a true spiritual journey. Like we're already inherently on spiritual journeys because we're spirits having a human experience. However, when our bodies aren't optimized, because our pineal glands are calcified. So we're kind of docile. We're kind of apathetic. We're not living life with passion and love and purpose. We want to get into love and passion and purpose. We want to really feel alive while we're here. And that is going to require being in a more optimized human vessel. If we're bogged down with toxicity and with stress and with work, and with all these things that kind of keep us distracted and keeps us away from taking care of ourselves, we have to take inventory. So I really enjoyed this conversation because it was about your health journey. It was about the things that you did and you consumed, but it also involved family. It involved getting out of certain environments. It involved you now finding your purpose and helping others. So with that said, you can find him on Facebook as Stephone Jeffrey. We have it here on the board. His email is also here if you want to reach out to him directly for his coaching services. It sounded like he's got a group. So the group coaching, he's just getting testimonials. So he's willing to help you in that regard. However, if you're doing any one-on-one coaching, that, is a lot more intensive and would be more paid. And yeah, so.
Yeah. Just message me if you're looking for a t-shirt or a hoodie, or like I said, if you're interested in the coaching, just let me know, and we'll have a consultation and we'll talk. So yeah, that sounds. But I enjoyed this so much. I appreciate this, Lachey. This was a beautiful conversation.
I agree. This is a tremendous conversation, and thank you everybody, all the viewers who tapped in, who stayed with us from beginning to end. I know we were here for a couple of hours, but impressingly, I think this is my most viewer retention long form interview that I've ever done. Like we maintained a minimum of 21, like a range between 21 to 22 viewers throughout the entire thing. And for me, like that's a lot. Like I'm always looking at my stats. So that's this was a good conversation. So thank you, everybody. I do have uh, another guest coming up next week. I have one guest per week, and we'll get into that. The flyer will come out. Please tune in. I'm actually going to try to see if I can keep this Sunday slot because it seems like people are available and they're here ready to listen. But I love you guys so much. Betterism. We're always just focused on being better at being better. It's not about perfectionism. It's about just getting up every day and making good choices for yourself. Um, just take it day by day. We're not here to be perfect. We're just here to be better. And with that said, I love you. Bye.